Hi everyone, Gabriela here with video number 8 of our virtual Christmas Extravaganza 2.0. Just as a reminder, this is the last video of our Christmas themed, project-based, new fabric video series this year. Today, I'm here as your host for another exciting employee challenge. This time around, I challenged my creative coworkers to use their holiday cheer to make a totally festive Christmas apron. The only guidelines for this challenge was that every contestant had to use Christmas-themed fabric from this season in their apron, and the rest would be up to them. As we look at each apron entry, be thinking about which one is your favorite. We are filming this video because we need you to vote for your favorite entry in the comments, and the contestant with the most votes will win this challenge. I can't wait to show you what everyone made, so let's get started. Introducing contestant number 1, Janet.
Hello all.
Janet, tell us about your apron.
This cute little apron is made from fabric called Holiday Spirits.
I love this fabric. It's super cheerful. It's got little cocktail sayings on it, little bar-looking signs. Perfect fabric selection for an apron.
And the peppermints and snowflakes.
Yeah.
It was designed by Courtney Morgenstern for Three Wishes Fabric. And the pattern I used is called the Totally Centered Apron by Vanilla House.
Nice. I love the point details. What's different about this pattern?
Well, this one isn't a pattern where you cut out pieces. That you actually have to use a rotary cutter and a ruler, and you cut them out that way.
Okay.
And from there, I added cute little buttons. I'm not sure you can see the little Santa faces.
Cute. And I love little details like that. It really makes something like an apron special.
Just different, yes.
Yeah.
And a hidden pocket. Peppermint?
Yes, please. Thank you. Thanks so much for your entry, Janet.
You're
I think
welcome.
it came out awesome.
Happy cooking, right?
Yeah. Introducing contestant number 2, Kathryn.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, Kathryn. Show us your apron.
Okay, so we got a new pattern in up at our Lady Lake store, and it's a 7-pocket pattern for an apron. It's called the Amanda Jane, and I was like, 7 pockets? Who doesn't need 7 pockets? So I decided
I need 7 pockets.
Everybody needs 7
Yeah.
pockets. So I wanted to do it for my husband. He likes to do a lot of the Christmas cookies and cooking, and he's got stuff everywhere, so I thought this would be the perfect pattern for him. So this is the Amanda Jane 7-pocket work apron that we did.
Oh
I wanted
gosh,
to
it's
use
awesome.
masculine type of prints. I mean, who doesn't love a good buffalo plaid? I like it for girls too, but he loves buffalo plaid. And so here we have our little Christmas trees, and I thought it was just super cool. So this is what I did for my apron.
Okay, and did you do anything different from
Absolutely.
the pattern?
I mean,
Tell
the
us.
patterns are really, really good, but then there are some things that I wanted. So first of all, because I was doing this for my husband, I decided to put in a lining of SF101, which is a fusible interfacing, and so that helps beef it up a little bit.
I always have like 10 yards at a time of SF101 in my house.
In the
I
house.
need it for everything. I use
Stocked
it for everything.
up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, time for some SF101.
Yeah.
And we're not always open. I mean, at midnight to 1 a.m., we're not here. So it's
Yeah.
good to have your SF101 at home.
Exactly.
So that's one thing that I did. Another thing is I like a good bow on the apron, something you can really tie or wrap around twice if you'd like to. So I lengthened the straps on this, and they are super, super, super long.
So that way you can either do a bow in the front, a
Bow
bow
in
in
the
the back.
Whatever
Either
you
way.
want to do.
Yeah.
It's a pterodactyl, whatever you want to do. Okay, and then one thing that I do want to talk about too is top stitching. Sometimes patterns will say, okay, turn it right side out and do a little stitch on the edge, a little top stitch. And for me, if it's going to be there, out, visible for the world to see, why not do something bold and decorative?
Yeah, make it look nice.
Make it look really finished and polished. So one of the things that I love to do on my particular top stitching is I I like to use a triple stitch. It's also called a bean stitch.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, I love it. It's a nice hefty straight stitch that actually goes over one area 3 times. That's why it's called a triple stitch. And I also like to lengthen it a little bit so that it has a little bit more of a visual impact and looks like a bean, a little coffee bean. That's why it's called the bean stitch.
Yeah.
So I do a length of 3.5 on my top stitching. And then it's just a really nice, bold, visible element that screams, look at me, I'm beautiful.
Yeah. Well, Kathryn, great entry. I love this apron, and I'm sure Chris is going to love it too.
Thanks, Gabriela. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Introducing contestant number 3, Linda.
Hello.
Linda, tell us about your apron.
Well, I saw this fabric one day and I said to myself, I cannot go home without it. And I knew we were going to have a little contest with aprons. So I bought this and the contrasting pieces of fabric. And the pattern I used was this one, but I added the contrasting up here and added a little rickrack.
So this is a pretty standard apron
Yes,
pattern.
very
You can
easy.
customize it how you want,
Right.
which sounds like that's what
Right.
you did with
And
the 2 strips of
And I
fabric.
wanted to do something that was easy and fast because
Right.
I didn't want to take a lot of time to do it. But with all the extra trim, it did take a little longer than I thought.
Yeah, and it's very you. It's very fun.
Yeah. Another thing I did, which was kind of a mistake, I wanted to make, instead of inserting this strap here, I wanted to put buttonholes right
I was
here.
going to ask about this because this
But-
is interesting.
Because I didn't know how to make a buttonhole on my new machine, I just sewed it on and then tied it. Pretty
Well,
cool.
that's a kind of good cheat,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
wanted that anyway, so that's
I like
all.
that little detail.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was-
these little light bulbs are so
Yeah,
fun.
They are fun. They're fun. Anyway, it's like 13 weeks till Christmas. Everybody better start sewing.
Yes. Well, thank you so much
You're
for your
welcome.
entry, Linda.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Introducing contestant number 4, Melinda.
Hi.
Melinda, tell us about your apron.
So this was a really fun project to work on. I love the fabric that we picked.
I also really love that fabric.
Isn't that adorable?
It's perfect for an apron. It's got gingerbreads. I mean, come on.
Yes, gingerbread, Christmas, it's just fun. And then I love the stars and how they coordinate with it as well.
Yes. And you love metallic. So I love those
Yes,
metallic
got
stars.
a little bit of sparkle to it.
And what pattern did you use?
So I used the Vanilla House Design 6-corner apron. It's a really easy pattern. You cut 2 big squares out, you fold them in half to make triangles, and then stitch them together and you've got your apron.
Okay, and then skill level, what would you say?
I'd say confident beginner.
Awesome. And what's this little detail here? Did you embroider that?
I did. So
I love
the
that.
pattern calls for using buttons to secure your layers together.
Okay.
But I didn't really want to sew all those buttons, so instead I found an embroidery design that is a button inside of a star, and I thought that really coordinated with the sewing part of it over here, with the buttons and the scissors and the thread, and then the stars over here, and worked as a really nice way to just secure the 2 layers together.
Yeah, and tack everything down. I love that idea. I never thought of doing that.
Yes,
Well,
worked really well.
I really love this apron. Thank you so much for participating.
It was fun.
Awesome. Introducing contestant number 5, Cathy.
Hello, everyone.
Cathy, tell us about your apron.
Well, I want to say first that this is an homage to my mother. She was a fantastic seamstress and a fabulous baker. So aprons were her thing.
Oh my gosh, it is awesome.
I don't know why, but I guess in the 50s, they made them pretty. You know, they were more of an accessory.
Why don't you
than
step
a
on the stool so
necessity.
we can see it better?
Alrighty. We're gonna catch you. No.
I will.
So her signature was always a cute little pocket. I'm going the wrong way. And lots of times at the holidays, she'd put the little bells on. And
I love this. People can hear you coming with
Yep, they can
cookies.
hear you coming, and you know it's on Christmas Eve.
And I love the fullness of this and the ruffles on the bottom.
And let me tell you, if you're worried about ruffles, I have a trick for you. This little tiny foot. You know, you can buy rufflers, but they're kind of a contraption, I call them. You know,
Let's step back down here.
really, labor intensive. But all this is a foot.
Let's show
where
this
am I?
camera here.
Foot with a
Yeah,
little
there we
step
go.
on it. You see that? It just steps up. When you're sewing and you have it on, you can just let it go through. But if you put your finger here, you can manage how much gathering it is. and you could just roll along and get a bunch of ruffles. These were so easy to do rather than the old double stitching where you pulled everything.
And you've got a lot of gathers in this one.
Yeah, it shows a lot too because this one is reversible. You don't have to make it reversible.
Okay.
Cute.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Go on it, you can turn it around.
I
love making this, and I kept thinking of my mom, how she would have loved it. She always made us gifts as aprons. She gave them to everybody. She made them out of sheer fabrics, dotted Swiss, everything. And they were just lovely. And my sisters and I always think of her when we see something like this.
Yes, and you have your own pattern.
I did draft a pattern for it.
Okay.
And this will be available.
Yep, I will link that.
We're going to have copies in the store. So you can make one also.
You can make your own with any fabric you want. And thank you so much for participating, Kathy. I love your apron.
Introducing contestant number 6, Gabriela.
Hey, everyone.
All right, so tell us about your apron entry.
Okay, so when I released this challenge, I couldn't decide what fabrics I wanted to use, so I went around the store and grabbed a bunch of fat quarters of my favorite Christmas cottons, and I just hoped they would go together with a scrappy look. So I used a lot of Paintbrush Studios fabrics, and I cut a bunch of 3.5-inch squares. Out of the fat quarters. So the way that I did that was I stacked them all to be quicker about it.
Okay.
Cut a bunch of squares, put all the squares in different piles. And then that's when I sorted where I wanted each one. And then I sewed strips together. And then I didn't put the seams on each other because I didn't want to mess with matching seams because I wanted it to look more scrappy, and also it was quicker that way.
Yeah.
So I
you offset them.
Yeah, that's the word.
Kind of like that quilt you made with the cave fabric.
Yeah.
You offset them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was no plan for it. Like, I didn't measure my offset. I just
So then you ended up with probably jagged edges on either end.
Yeah, but I made sure the main piece was enough for the width of my apron.
Yes.
And then after that, I folded it right sides together and I just cut in the shape of an apron. And
did you just imagine the shape of an apron?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a classic,
You
standard.
did?
Yeah, it's folded, so you cut like this.
An armhole.
Yeah.
The sides.
Exactly.
And however long you want it.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
And then I did the same thing for the other side, so it's reversible.
Ooh.
So I didn't do squares on this side. I did strips of the scraps that I had left, because I got like 18 fat quarters, so that was way too much for one apron. So I still have scraps left.
You could make some matching pot holders and
yeah, exactly.
hanging tea towels and,
Yeah, so
really,
that's my entry.
Nice. Well, that is really amazing. I've loved it ever since you put it on, and you did a great job with the colors.
Thank you. Okay. Introducing contestant number 7, Sheila. Sheila, tell us about your apron.
Well, as you can see, I used the steampunk fabric. And
Steampunk Christmas.
And it's
Love
reversible. Now the top, I embroidered the writing here, and then I got the wine fabric and embroidered that.
So okay. So first, let's talk about, did you use a pattern or did you make your pattern?
No, I just measured how wide and how long.
And you accounted for how much you wanted gathered and everything like that, with your little trim on the bottom.
And then crosses over at the back.
Cute, very cute. And then for this bib part,
right,
you said you embroidered this off-white fabric first, right?
That's wine. And yes, I embroidered that, then I pinned that where I wanted it, and then I laid the vinyl over the top.
Okay.
And I made a paper template for the glass and the bottle.
Okay.
And I laid that onto the vinyl, drew around it, and then took the paper away. And then I just stitched around and then trimmed away the excess.
Wow. Okay, so this was just a straight stitch after you traced everything into the shape.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love to cook with wine. And then what did you say?
Sometimes I put it in the food.
That is so awesome. Well, thank you so much for your entry.
You're very welcome. Hope you like it. Bye.
Introducing contestant number 8, Kelsey.
Hello. you.
Kelsey, tell us about your apron.
So I fell in love with this Moda collection.
It is so cute. The retro vibes.
Yes, it's Santa scattered all over on a pink and white polka dot there. And I just love, you know, it took me all day to figure out what fabric to use. In between working, of course.
So that just goes to show you can make a Christmas apron with any of our Christmas cottons and it'll look cute. Because you couldn't decide.
I couldn't decide. So then I started looking at embroidery designs and I fell in love with this one that says, "Dear Santa, I can explain, but first let's eat a cookie." And I thought, oh, well, that goes nice with the Santa fabric.
Yeah, and you use the same colors for the embroidery design or the fabric.
Yeah, I looked at the two fabrics I wanted to use and I pulled the exact embroidery colors and had a good time. This is a simplicity pattern. And it was very easy to make. I did my own thing in some places because once you learn how to sew, you don't always have to follow the pattern, right?
Right.
So it's super ruffly down here. The edge is finished with a bias tape.
Nice.
And
that's a nice
it's
touch.
got crisscross shoulders in the back. And it's a bib apron. I've always been a sucker for bib aprons because you can put embroidery designs on them.
Yeah, it's just asking for it. And what's this blender fabric that you used? That seems like it would go with a lot of other fabrics.
Yes, this is Michael Miller Fairy Frost. It has a bit of shimmer to it.
Yeah, I see that.
Which takes it up a notch. If you're just trying to use a white fabric, but you don't want it to be plain white, you can use Fairy Frost. We sell a lot of it, especially around Christmas time.
It's perfect for Christmas. Well, I love your apron, and you're probably so excited to wear it in the kitchen.
Yes, I am.
Thanks for participating.
Thank you.
Introducing contestant number 9, Holly.
Hi there. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Holly. Tell us about your apron.
Okay, so had a lot to choose from as far as Christmas fabrics, so it was hard to decide what I wanted to make my apron out of. But when I saw the 3 Wishes Holiday Spirits line, I'm like, okay,
these are so cute.
That's what I have to
used these also.
Because it's just so bright and fun, and I just had to use it. So I thought, you know, with the cocktails on it, I had to do a little cocktail apron. So
did you follow a pattern?
No, I'm a winger. I winged it. So I just did
You did a good job winging it.
Little half circle.
So did you, how much fabric did this take? It didn't look like it took a whole lot.
I think I got like half a yard of each because I didn't know what I was going to do, or I might have gotten more. I forget now.
Okay, a little half circle and then some for the border and the
pockets and the little tie. So I just, you know, pretty much used my serger on most of it. I used my serger to do the ruffle, which I love doing that because it's so much easier and doesn't take very much time.
Why is it easier?
Because you just change your differential feed up to gathering.
Yeah.
And you just serge it right through and it does all the work for you.
It is so fast and easy to do it on your serger.
So that was amazing. And then I just put some fun little pom-poms on it that matched, and then I've got a little apron.
We have that pom-pom trim available.
So lots of pom-poms out there. I love pom-poms.
I think this came out so good, and seeing it on you was, it was like, okay, of course Holly made that apron because it's so cute and so like fun, and you're so cute and fun. So it works perfectly with you.
And now I can have an apron to serve cocktails in. So I will demonstrate.
Let's get a close-up here.
And there you go.
It's cute, perfect. Introducing contestant number 10, Jane Ann.
Hi, everybody.
Jane Ann, tell us about your apron.
Well, as soon as I heard of the challenge, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I always loved my aunt and mother in their aprons, and they always wore a full apron. But they always had like ruffles on it, or their pockets were different, and so I was challenged to do something different than the standard apron. So I went back, purchased some gingham, used the serger to do a rolled hem on my edges. And
love
then
that.
gathered it.
Wow, I mean, that looks super professional, that finish.
Well, we are professionals here.
You are professional.
And then I decided, don't know if you can hear those bells, but I've got bells up top here going across the top.
That is so
And some bows on my
cute.
pocket. And I also made a matching one for my daughter.
Oh my gosh. So you guys can like cook cookies, Christmas dinner together.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that is so cute. And hers has bells also.
Yes. She didn't want as many bells.
I love that. And I love that you made your own trim with the gingham.
Yeah.
And it looks so super festive, Christmassy. Great job.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for your
Vote
entry.
for me, everybody, and share this video with your friends so they can vote too. Bye.
Now here is your call to action. Please vote in the comments for your favorite entry using the contestant's number. We will be announcing the winner of this challenge on Friday, September 30th. I want to also remind you that you can still use the extra special Xmas20 discount code on any Christmas-themed fabrics you've seen in the last 7 videos. Thank you so much for following along with our virtual Christmas Extravaganza 2.0 series and for participating in all of our employee challenges. Happy holidays and see you next time.